Meeting of the Finance Committee of the Broome County Land Bank Association. What do we have for comment?
304.
304. Okay, first order approval of minutes from the March 18th.
Yes.
Can I have a motion? Motion, so moved.
I'll make a second.
Second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, new business.
All right, let's go. So new business is proposed amendments to our fiscal year 2025 budget. Purposes of this is to reflect a more accurate expenditure. And what we anticipate to spend in 2025. So we can go line by line. So on page 3 is our full budget, and the following pages are breakdowns of that. So in 2025, we anticipate allocating and operating non-operating revenues, $730,000 of City of Binghamton American Rescue Plan Act funding, $200,000 of Broome County ARPA funding. Our DHCR Land Bank Initiative Phase 1, 2024-2025 period is to stay the same. But we were allocated additional operating funds for the remainder of 2025 and into 2026. So we want to make that adjustment about $54,000. One of the things I want to point out in the next line, LBI Phase 2 is our actual line item there, actual 2025 year to date. We have received $282,000, but that was also due to expenditures that we have been reimbursed from fiscal year 2024. So we're going to have a little bit of a discrepancy there, but we anticipate spending only $277,000. And then LBI P2, not to be confused with Phase 2, we anticipate spending $285,000 for the remainder of 2025. And then our biggest adjustment, quite frankly, is our HCR vacant rental program funding. We're proposing to go from $460,000 to $210,000. It's a new program. We're working through it, making awards, as the board knows, on a routine basis, but getting the projects up and running is a little bit different than our previous programs. We're kind of working through that. So we had anticipated spending more in 2025 than we actually have, but we will be spending quite a bit from now until the end of the year. And then appropriated fund balance, just making an adjustment there. Down below in expenditures, breaking that all down. So there's just a few things I really want to point out is our general liability insurance. We're going down from $11,600 to $8,000. That is a reflection of our land bank not acquiring as many properties as we had intended to in 2025 and actually doing the exact opposite, disposing more. And then our legal, we had some accrued bills from Joe Mayor's office that we had paid out in 2025. And our utilities, same sort of thing there, in that we acquired less properties than we had anticipated. And then at the very bottom, about $1.7 million in capital. Moving on to page 4 is our operating budget, kind of just all went through that. Sorry, go ahead.
Staying on that page.
Yes.
Just went over utilities. Below that, I see there's a security line, which also seems to have a significant increase from $3,850 to $13,000.
Yes. So that is largely due to our property security at a lot of our properties.
Okay.
So breaches of all the properties and things like that, and just having to go in and lock it back down.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yep. Page 4 is a description of all of that. And then I just want to fast forward to page 6. And just kind of go through those capital project costs down on the bottom of that sheet. So we do not anticipate spending, any of our Broome County American Rescue Plan Act funds in 2025 on demolitions. We do anticipate spending Land Bank Initiative P2 funds instead, is one of our more recent awards. So instead of using our flexible ARPA funds, we'll use our Land Bank Initiative funds, which are also eligible. That's what I would be proposing. And then moving down into our rehabilitation projects, a lot of our cost there is our American Rescue Plan Act funds from the city, our Land Bank Initiative funds, and then our VRP funds. Down below in acquisition, I do have Broome County ARPA funds allocated for 2025 in the event that we come across a property that we cannot help but buy. I don't think that's going to happen, but it's there just in case. And then we have a little bit of wiggle room in our Land Bank Initiative Phase 2 for acquisition. And those are largely our proposed amendments for 2025.
Just one other question.
Shoot.
The acquisition lines.
Yes.
BC ARPA and LBI Phase 2, 200,000 each. In theory, if those are not spent, because we don't find one of these magical properties that calls out to be bought on the open market, do those funds revert back, or do we get to keep those into 2026 and beyond?
ARPA funds have to be spent by 2026.
Okay.
So those would just be allocated into our 2026 budget.
Okay.
Mhm.
The BC,
Yeah, Broome County. Yep.
all right, thank you. Oh, and what about the LBI Phase 2 line there for acquisitions?
Same thing. That has to be spent by 2026.
Okay.
Yep.
Any other questions? Thank you, Jess. With the amendments, I will entertain a motion to accept the amendments.
Second.
All those in favor, or discussion? No discussion. Okay,
I
all
got no
those in
discussion.
favor, aye.
Aye.
Passes, okay. Now, review the budget, proposed budget, Jess.
All right. So our proposed budget for fiscal year 2026, starting on page 7. We'll notice quite a bit of a jump from 2025 to 26, going from about 2 million to 4 million. That is largely due to the fact that all of our American Rescue Plan Act funds, all of our Land Bank Initiative capital funds, so Phase 2 and P2, and our vacant rental program funding all has to be spent by the end of 2026. The ARPA funds has to be spent if we get towards the end of 2026 and we have some Land Bank Initiative funding or vacant rental program funding remaining, we can ask for a extension, but that will come as Q4. So we're just budgeting as if we have to spend all the rest because that's what our contracts say right now. So that is a reflection of, in the proposed budget 2026, the far right column, under non-operating revenues, all of those, line items are a reflection of what we anticipate we will have remaining to spend in 2026. Is there any questions about that? No.
See me done.
Okay, great. Okay, so then down below in our expenditures, our operating expenditures, we've increased directors and officers insurance slightly. We hope to take on more properties in 2026. We anticipate to do that. So moving from $8,000 to $10,000 in general liability insurance. The slight increase in administrative expenses in relation to staff. Our audit is going to go up every year. We are budgeting there with Drescher and Malecki for a single audit in addition to our statutory annual audit. We do not anticipate that we're going to have to undertake that for fiscal year 2025. So that line item may be reduced in 26. Accounting, our accounting services will be $1,000 a month, so that's $12,000 a year. We've reduced our marketing expenses back down to standard 5,000. We don't. We don't anticipate having to market any new programs, but if we do, and the program allows for us to work that into the program itself, then that's where we would pull it from. Let's see, legal, again, we're hoping to kind of go down there a little bit from 20,000 back down to 10. And then largely all of our other expenses we're just trying to stay the same. Again, security or property maintenance under security can kind of be questionable as it relates to how much we'll spend in a year. So, largely we're really looking to just try to stay within the aggregate there. And then other non-operating expenditures, that $3.6 million at the very bottom of page 7, that's a reflection of all of our capital dollars that need to be spent in 2026. So Rob and I have a lot of work to do. Any questions? No?
I don't know if we need a motion to approve the proposed budget.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to, if I, you don't mind, Jess, do you need to brief the committee on any of the other?
Unless they feel a need to, I mean, the
Okay.
page 7 kind of summarizes it all. The
Perfect.
only thing I could point out is on page 10 is our capital cost. That's kind of where we break it down by award.
Yep.
And where those
Last page.
dollars are going.
Yep.
So, I mean, really what I'd want the board to pay attention to mostly is we're spending down the rest of our city of Binghamton ARPA funds. That's about 700,000. And then our land bank initiative P2 funding, again, not to be confused with phase 2. Those are strictly capital dollars, and those dollars have to be allocated towards units of housing. So that's where a lot of our budget, a lot of our budget's coming from.
And I think you do want a motion and a vote to advance this to the full board for consideration. Yeah.
So
If you are inclined to do so, that is.
Okay, I will entertain a motion to move the proposed budget acceptance to the land bank in its entirety.
That's it.
So moved.
Chris, second, Tom, thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it passes. Seeing no other items on the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn. the
I'll make a
Finance
motion
Committee
to-
meeting.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the finance committee meeting.
Thank you, thank you. All those in favor? We
Aye.
are adjourned. All those in favor?
Get up and leave.
Can't do that, not yet.
Nope, you got 13 more minutes.